Hey, my name's PolishLynx and welcome to Lack of Voices. Let us continue this journey. We are halfway through the walk, I guess. Probably halfway. So, let's go. Let's get to the land. Actually, technically we are on the land, but let's get to the land we want to go onto, okay? Not the island somewhere in the middle of nowhere. Alright, after an untold period of time, which probably is, well, around 24 hours for us, because that's when we ended, the water begins to stir. There is an unusual gurgling, a sound I never thought I would be this relieved to hear. Slowly, quickly, the breeze make their nightly appearance. Sinnlos is an overwhelmingly cruel environment. This island had felt like a safe haven such a short time ago. But there has been twisted to the point where I'm grateful for a chance to return to the maze, and we may not even reach that. More Lynx here are bridging the water and wrenching themselves onto the sand. The guide signed us to all of us. Thanks to his position on the shore, the guide is able to board the bridge without confrontation. Stirs fast, however, the Lynx begin to crowd the opening. It appears they want to get on themselves. We have desperately little time before we'll be cut off from the guide. I look to my lantern. Will this light alone be enough to cause them to disperse? Beverly appears at my side, dragging his loose arm in one hand and his sword in the other. Lou yanks himself free of Beverly's grasp and doesn't seem very happy at the treatment.
Being taken into the water is the biggest threat with these creatures. While we're on the shore, we can keep enough distance to avoid it. I can help push them back.
I appreciate his contents, but I'm still not certain his help would be worth the risk. Two is more intimidating than just one, and there are many problems lurking. However, physical wounds don't hurt them in the same way they do to people. What? I could still use my lantern now. That has been the one weapon we've wielded against them thus far. Do you have some oil or something like that? Here's a crazy idea. Pour some oil onto that freaking sword of his and lit that sword on fire. Thank you, and we'll be dealing with those bastards without any troubles. But you probably won't get that idea, do you? Will you? Won't you? Whatever. My mind goes over every point I can think of on a look, but there isn't that kind of time to spare. I have to give an answer. What? No, I'm not ready for this. Not nice, game. Not nice. Wait, you mean it goes even if I pause? Fuck.
If you're going to fight, then I am as well. I will attach the lantern to my belt for now.
Probably. Is it a good idea? Maybe it's not a good idea? What's the other option? Let's fight? No, don't overwrite. What's the first option? I only didn't... This one? Should we fight or should we not fight? I kinda want to fight, but at the same time, maybe it's a bad idea. Fuck it, let's continue the way I chose first.
If you're
Let's
going
fight.
to fight, then I am as well. I will attach the lantern to my belt for now.
Bumble grins and grips his sword
I'm
firmly.
ready for it.
Lou, stay behind. This needs to be done by us alone.
I never listened to my ideas. Ethan's verbal reply, however, the severity of our situation isn't lost on him. He falls back and waits for our signal. I latched lantern to my leather belt and unsheathed my sword. We approach the battle as the two of us have done in the past. The skin of the monster falls against the bones as they shrink back from my light. Bubble takes a wide swing at one nearby, which forces it back even further. I follow in suit, striking the beasts near to me. Each arc of our swords opens the way at more. I listen closely and feel confident that Luke hasn't drifted. I pray my instincts are right. It's far too dangerous to look away, even momentarily, with the Nixie so close. Our efforts bear fruit as path to the bridges clears in front of my eyes. Waves not one went, sprinting towards the bridges. With the others near my side, I amble back into the maze. We don't stop until there is a considerable distance between us and the shore. It is there that we encounter the guide. Upon seeing his figure, I hide a sigh of relief. We haven't been left behind. Our arrival doesn't change the guide's empty expression. He doesn't say or do anything. Instead, allowing all of us to catch our breath. Wembley starts to laugh incredulously through uneven breaths.
Such recklessness. I can hardly believe it worked.
He looks as though his legs might fall out from underneath him.
Normally, I wouldn't ever say anyone on these bridges are lucky. But we are.
We treasure the moment of triumph for a little more before the guide ends his silence.
We need to start walking. We've already lost much time as it is.
I quickly straighten myself out and mull over our current situation. We start to consider how we are going to travel now that we only have 2 lanterns.
I can stay ahead in between the guide's light and yours. I will be fine there.
At that I become fraught with worry. I look over at Pamela, concern rioting through my body as I wonder how he will fare being so far away from a light source.
I think it would be fine if we all stayed together.
Bubble and I confer with our eyes before silently agreeing with one another.
Okay.
We nod.
We'll do that then. Thank you.
Although having a bit of crowd as opposed to an entirely straight line, our journey moves ahead as it did the night before. The sunlight creeps along as we carefully move through the thick fog, making certain not to bump into one another. Then my lantern blinks. It fizzles loud. The 3 of us gasp simultaneously and I hold my breath like time will stop with my breathing. To my great relief, the light flutters back on. The air I'd been anxiously holding in releases a sigh.
What's going on?
The guide has halted, but does not turn around as he asks the
There's
question.
nothing.
I watch as he shifts his backpack to look at us. The third behaves is probing and deeply unnerving. He doesn't believe me. I turn his gaze, my expression black. Like always, we remain locked. In this moment, I can feel his patience with me slipping away. He chooses not to spend any longer waiting for an answer that will not come. The guide faces his back to us once more. He acts without word, but I know he's not satisfied. Our small group shares anxiously reading looks as the guide moves ahead. I look down at my lantern. The crack seems larger than ever. I feel as though I am cracking with it. There is nothing I could do to fix it. Should it go out for good?
We need to keep going. We shouldn't speak of this.
I can feel that they are apprehensive over the situation and adeptly curious as to how it happened in the first place. However, this is not the time. I don't want to draw attention to this for fear of the guide catching on. I mean, what would it change? It wouldn't change anything. The chattering of the Nixie bubbles up out of the darkness and I gulp harshly. The thought crossed my mind that they too have noticed what just transpired. We walk for quite a bit longer. The voices whispering among each other has died down, but the squishing and clicking of flowers has replaced them. It's difficult to trace the exact origin of the sound. All I know is that it's far too close for comfort. The guide stops abruptly, bringing us to an awkward halt. Luckily, there are no impacts between the 3 of us.
Stay where you are.
My eyes are drawn to the guide. He's making small movements, cautiously pressing his foot into the boards in front of him at different spots. Could something be wrong with the bridge itself? My theory is proven correct almost immediately.
Boards ahead are unstable. They may break when stepped on.
Hey,
Is there another path?
This is our path. Move slowly and do not have 2 people on the same board at a time. I will cross first. When I find a stable section, I will inform you. Then you will follow my lead.
great. Sounds awesome. He doesn't allow us time to answer before they darting forward. His steps are light, but beneath him the wood creaks loudly.
Why are the bridges this way? They can be burned into ash and will still rise the next nightfall. And yet this spot is less stable than the rest. It is strange.
there likely isn't a reason for it. It's just another piece of madness.
Lou doesn't say anything on the topic, merely staring ahead. The guide breaks his cautious steps, testing the security on the
Where
bridge.
I am now is solid. You only need to reach this position.
We'll be right there.
I face the
To
others.
ensure that there is enough light for all of us, I will go second. We need to keep enough distance between each other to not break the boards.
Bama elects to lead and starts going forward, inching gingerly across the trembling boards. After there is some distance, I begin to follow, focused on keeping my movement steady. Lou is the last one. The three of us carefully navigate the creaking soggy woods. We attempt to keep to the guide's path in hopes that the boards will hold. I feel my foot lay heavily on the board. It bends hair-raisingly under me. I wince as I slowly step off of it. I wonder if we should be crawling but not forced to spread our weight over a wider space, but that may make us vulnerable to those creatures. My focus broken when I hear a shout from ahead. Bama's foot has snapped through the bridge. I instinctively rush forward, but the abrupt movement and the other wave caused the board to splinter completely, and that was a fucking bad choice. I didn't say before that! Fuck. I fucked up. I fucked up. I don't know why I clicked, to be honest. Let's not do this.
If you're going to fight, then I am as...
Let's do this. Alright, let's hopefully he will manage. Despite ever excelling me screaming help, I force myself not to make any sudden movements. Bamele lifts his foot up from the cusp of the water and placed it back on the board in front of him. Thank goodness, the air section could have collapsed. I'm a genius. No, I'm not. Lou looks at us, clearly concerned.
A part of the board broke. Everyone is fine, however. You should avoid that section completely.
Okay.
You don't say you should avoid a freaking hole in the bridge? No, really? We're still in much danger as we stand here. I encourage him to begin moving fast more. I make sure to keep out the broken board myself when I come to it. As I pass by the hole, I catch a bit of movement in the water, but when I look closely, there is nothing there. Hopefully. After a few more agonizing minutes, everyone reaches the other side of the trap. Each of us three mutter various expressions of relief. There isn't a word from our guide. You know what Polish people would say? Well, I won't say it because that would be an uncensored word. We continue our journey across the bridge, trading small, sporadic bits of conversation, until we plunge into darkness. I immediately come to a screeching halt that almost makes the two near me lose their footing. I look down my lantern. It's as dark as the water. The three of us stare at it, silently pleading. A few moments pass, and yet the lantern remains cold and lifeless. In desperation, I jiggle the lantern, hoping that somehow something will click and the light will return. Nothing happens. Huh. Well, should have borrowed a flashlight from Alan Wake. I feel the others nerves climbing with every second. They shift uncomfortably as they watch me pathetically attempt to light it. We are quiet, still hoping that the guide won't notice. Yeah, I'm sure he won't notice that the light went off. I keep shaking and tap at the sides of the cracked glass. When that doesn't yield and results, I open the lantern itself and look over the internal workings. I can't reach inside. Despite its appearance, the metal has retained the heat from before and I would be burned. As the darkness turns on, I frankly try to figure out what the problem is from sight alone to no avail.
Your light is gone.
You don't say, Sherlock. The indifferent tone of the speaker is unmistakable. No, not yet. I look up from my work to see that the guide is approaching us. I am at loss for words. He comes near and the edges of his light shelter us like a blanket.
Relight it.
My head's been trembling. I know that it won't do anything, but I do as demanded and hope for a miracle. I attempt to get the inner core to catch flame, but the lantern refuses to comply no matter what they do. The guide's eyes widen as the full scope of the situation dawns on him. My two companions start nervously fidgeting and whisper about possible solutions, but I hear each one getting shot down. I look at the guide forlornly. We're completely at his mercy now, if he hasn't spared at all. He coldly surveys the three of us. After slightly deliberating, he narrows his eyes until there are slits in his
I
face.
will allow one of you to remain in my light.
Speaking of which, actually, now that I think about Alan Wake, remember his agent and the way he dealt with the shadows? This would be a freaking good idea over here. Damn, I need to play Alan Wake again. One.
It's insanity! Your staff creates more than enough light for the four of us. We could easily follow at a distance you would feel comfortable with.
Someone who wants to live will share their light with no one. I will not share my light with 3.
He almost snarls us.
After everything that's happened, all that we've done, you're going to abandon 2 of us this easily? You truly are a bastard.
Well, it took you long enough to realize that.
Stop. If you take so much as one wrong step towards him, all the guide will do is flee. There is no chance that fighting will end in more people surviving.
I can see that her lantern is lit, so what the hell? What the hell are you talking about? It's lit! There is fire in it. What? Bell doesn't say anymore, but grits his teeth.
Then, what about 2?
Oh, now it's not.
Could you please keep 2 of us safe?
The guy sharply shakes
I
head.
will allow 1 and no more. 2 will be left behind.
Finally, T rings out from his words.
Lingering at a distance far behind my light will leave you vulnerable. The wisest option is to continuously move, even if it means going another way.
Heh. Mela glowers at the guide hatefully. Lou's eyes narrow as he observes the situation. A torrent of thoughts rip through my mind as I try to find some other way. My bold defense, the guide has never referred to me by name this way. It is jarring enough to gain my attention, even amidst the panic rising.
You are the most likely to survive. The offer is for you.
I wonder why she's the one most likely to survive, but... Okay, my eyes widen even further. No, I don't want that. I can't be the only one. No. I turn my eyes to my companions. The both of them gaze back at me, dejected. There is a horrifying resignation in their eyes. For technically, she's the one the most likely to survive, then she probably shouldn't be the light, right? Or something like that. This cannot be happening. They should be going, not me. They should be the ones who remain safe.
I'm nowhere near as sharp as you are. We both always knew that.
There is a fragile, self-depreciating smile on his face. It makes my heart ache. Luke continues to only passively watch with an unexplainable expression. I shake my head, refusing to watch them give up so easily. I turn to the guy's face one time, begging him mentally. He's empty and
It
unflinching.
needs to be done. This is what it means to cross Sinnlos.
Huh. The heavy words sink into me as I stare towards the void that eagerly waits 2 of us. Oh, safe. God damn it! I don't even want the choice. I won't go, let someone else stay. I won't go, let someone else stay. The guy sucks in a brief, clearly disappointed.
Being without light is dangerous, even if you are close to another. The one who goes with me has no guarantee of making it across. You risk this entire journey being for naught. The correct decisions need to be made. Everyone should be aware of that.
By the way, this is a freaking badass CG. This really is badass CG. Would be even more badass if at least one of them was walking on the freaking boards. Anyway, his words cut deep. I have no logical reason to object to going if my only solution is choosing another for the same proposition. I thought I would be ready for this when I presented itself. I believe I had the strength. It was only what I wanted to believe. Nothing that I haven't said anything despite plenty of opportunity, the guide continues.
I will not choose someone else, and neither will they. Can you do so? Who deserves to be saved and who lost in your mind?
What if I tell you that everyone will survive, dude? A pit forms in my stomach as the responsibility of this unspeakable choice falls on my shoulders. I try to form a coherent sentence, but whenever I try to wrench them out, the words vanish from my tongue. Having lost his patience, the guide points a finger at Lou almost accusingly.
I've noticed the attention you've given him. Is that what this is about? Do you want to sacrifice your position to give him a hope of safety?
Oh, you asshole.
Or perhaps you would prefer the both of you being left so you remain together? Or does your relationship not matter after all, and you don't care who gets the chance as long as you avoid a sense of guilt?
You're completely mad! Kika's reaction is what any normal human being would have. You can't pretend she is to blame.
I am aware. No one should have to take on such a grim task. That was why I did not ask it of you. I did it myself. However, that wasn't agreeable, so now the choice is hers, and it is time to decide.
I look over at Bemmel and Lou, hot tears flowing from my eyes. Oh, I mean, the two of you can fight, so...
Take the other one, guide.
Hey. He speaks with no hesitation, and everyone stares him. Surprisingly, the attention doesn't seem to bother Lou. This time, he is completely calm.
Kika doesn't want to go, and I don't need you.
The guide loudly gasps at Lou's declaration. He doesn't speak either, not from his usual indifference, but because he's completely at a loss for words. Lou shrugs the reaction off, continuing on with the derisive
You
tone.
have your needed answer. There's only one person you can take. I hope that you'll be able to prove your keep by getting at least someone across.
The guide's face contorts awkwardly. However, I don't get an impression of anger. Instead, it's almost as though Lou's words have struck a sensitive spot. Without another word, he turns around and begins to walk down the bridge.
You have to go. He will take you.
I look over to see Lou encouraging my brother to leave. Lou is nearly ready to start pushing him towards the guide.
Yes, Lou is right. The guide seems to have accepted this, and he won't change his mind again.
Bemmel looks between the two of us
The
furiously.
choice was between the two of us. You should have gone.
The people need you more than they need me, Bemele.
That's a lie. Even if it weren't, I wouldn't care.
I don't intend on leaping into the lake. I will find a way to manage. I'm sharp and quick-witted, after all.
But you still talk in the same freaking tone! I weakly grin. Bemmel grimaces at the way I turn his own words against him.
Be safe, please. There isn't time left.
Bemmel covers his eyes with his hand.
Damn you.
His face
I
softens.
will see you again. Somehow.
He lingers for only the briefest moments before turning on his heel to catch up with the man who is no longer my guide. It was almost unbearable seeing him so hurt. He wanted to protect me as much as I wanted that for him. However, I still hold my decision. Yet I can't help but wonder what Lou is thinking. By now, that feeling has become familiar to me. Even so, this seems unexpected. We both stand alone, consumed by a creeping darkness. I stare quietly at Lou for a good chunk of time. He laughs nervously under my gaze, and his eyes dart away.
Please don't look at me that way. I meant what I said. Besides, you promised to let me do what I needed to do. That was it, I'm sure.
I watch him for a second longer before releasing a pent-up sigh. I can't say he's wrong. Lou is stronger than most give him credit for. Lou nonchalantly stretches his arms out, his elbows popping with emotion.
Probably should start running now.
I look down, my fist tightening in contemplation. I can't let concern slow us down. I need to get him to the other side. I seal my determination. The two of us dash forward and take another branching path out of the bridges. We continue to race across Sinnlos, bridge after bridge. Many glossy arms reach up from the lake over the sides of the bridge towards our ankles. Luckily, we're able to pass by each one before any can grab a hold. There are moments here and there where Lou seems like he's going to stumble and fall. However, he manages to keep himself upright each time and continues forward. Yo! Our confidence is shattered as we turn down the path and we are forced to come to a halt. In the distance we see it, a mass of slow-moving figures creeping our way. I narrow my eyes.
Prowlers.
You don't say! I thought it was normal human beings! I mean, yeah, definitely. I turn behind me on to see more Nixie as they begin to rise up from the waters. They stretch their crooked limbs across the boards. Droplets of cold sweat begin to run down my back. There is no clear path any longer. Even if we light a match to set the side of the bridge on fire, it's possible that not all of them will leave, and then we'll be trapped by both flames and monsters. It will also put the others at risk if the flames spread to them. I slowly slide my hand down my side and reach for the hilt of my sword. I leave behind the broken lantern. That won't do anything for us now.
Stay close. I can at least clear the way we came so we can keep going.
Wait. Is that a rapier? Seriously? Girl, that won't do any good. Like with normal swords, whatever it's called, like, you know, you could like swing and smash a few of them to the side, I guess, if you're strong enough. But no. I blink in amazement at the fatality of his words. He rarely has the nerve to be so bold.
Swinging your sword will only give them another option to pull you down with. I've heard stories. Please listen, Kika. Run away with me. We can make it.
Wait, what? I look over at the monsters, who are now clamoring over the bridge towards us faster, and then back at Lou, who looks eyes with me without a whisper of doubt. It's clear he won't let me throw myself at the little threat.
Alright. Since you're better informed on how to handle this, then I will follow your lead.
A leaf washes over Lou's face before it hardens again with determination.
Go.
Where? I nod and turn to the path ahead, crawling with monsters. We sprint toward the bridge together, into the fray of contorting claws. I duck below at Lynx's grasping hands and jump over another reaching pair at the base of the bridge. I hear a small noise from Lou. With a trepidation but still running at top speed, I whip back, look at him. Lou is fine. He simply shakes his head and motions for me to continue.
Keep moving.
Those guys aren't too agile, aren't they? As well. Right, if I don't keep moving, then I'll only be getting in the way. However, I reach my hand back for him to take. Being distracted by the thoughts of Lou stumbling will bring us down. This can help. Probably. Seeing my hand, waiting ahead past those of the monsters encourages Lou even further. He pushes his way through and grabs hold. I grip him tightly and begin to run again. I managed to kill the worst swarm of Dixie on the bridges. Well, you don't know that yet. I take a moment to savor fresh air as I slow my mad pace. Lou is gasping for breath, however, he's got an eager grin on his face. The Nixie didn't follow us, but they are much too near for comfort. We meet eyes and both want to run to put those creatures far behind us, still hand in hand. We start rushing across the bridges with renewed vigor and don't stop until the wet sounds of the crude monsters are long behind us. I take advantage of the break to look around with more carefulness. It is nothing but the sense of Sinnlos, bridges, fog, and the lake itself. I can see neither of the interloping guides lines nor the shore. Right. We are completely and utterly lost in the labyrinth of ever-changing bridges. The atmosphere surrounding the place even more oppressive and dense in the dark. Not that I've been forced to take in our situation, I'm engulfed by the sheer emptiness of it all. The silence is deafening. My thoughts turn to Lou. This is what he had to deal with before we happened to find each other. I felt so sure in my need to run him, the boy on the brink of death, curled up in a helpless ball. I feel the cold sting of regret acknowledge that Lou is back in this situation again, thanks to my choices. I turn to assess him. He is bent forward over his knees, pounding erratically as he tries to catch his breath. He's completely and utterly exhausted. Yet, when he catches my gaze, he looks up to smile at me. I jerk my head away. I am wildly uncomfortable that Lou is much more willing to smile now than ever before. I have no idea how he could be so happy over this. I don't even want to consider that he's acting this way for my weak sake. I understand him. I open my mouth to speak up, but before I can put forth one word,
We're safe right now.
I am struck bound by his choice of words given where we are. Sinnlos is the Nix's territory. They felt inescapable. However, this lake is vast, and the Nix are not omnipresent nor omniscient. Lou catches me looking for any signs.
I noticed that Nixie can't be everywhere in this maze. It's huge. Now that we're away from them, we just have to be quiet.
Will that help?
Of course.
I feel a surge of hope well up in my
We
chest.
should take this opportunity to fully rest. Then we can progress somewhat slowly for a time. Capturing the attention of those beasts with loud steps is something we must avoid.
Or you know, you could somehow creep your way there while resting. Do not. The two of us stand quietly together, regaining our strength for the path ahead. After a short period of time, we start to make our way across the bridge as cautiously as possible. He starts to move ahead of me. I follow behind closely. Lou stares out the lake with a listless expression, and he seems entirely entranced within his own mind. He is extremely dark. His thoughts are almost oozing gloom. I make an attempt to interrupt, allowing him to process his thoughts on his own. Unfortunately, his true concerns are still mystery. I feel powerless to help.
What are the odds? The two of us would end up getting left behind by the guide again.
He chuckles, and a nervous smile of my own forms at the sheer irony of it.
I cannot say. It isn't exactly the same, however. This time, it was you who chose to be with me.
You two were supposed to be freaking quiet!
How could I not? There isn't anything else in this lake that's worth standing by.
Whoa! The affection in his tone caused me to smile more honestly. We continue on the nearly identical pathways together. After his short comment before, Luke has stopped speaking again. We're rather aimless, but there is little sense of panic between us. Somehow, the complete isolation makes it feel as though there are no threats. There's only us in a never-ending void. I force myself to shake up such thoughts. I need to remain focused. The end will come whether we arrive at or not. A little later down the path, Lou suddenly seems to escape the center of his mind once more. He gives an inquisitive glance.
Are you still curious about me? I wouldn't mind sharing more, if you'd like. I can't give specifics, but if that's fine, then...
Well, we should freaking keep quiet. But sure, go ahead. Whatever. He grins at me. However, his face quickly falls. He has to look away as he prepares to open
I
up.
was the black sheep of my village. I wasn't ever able to accomplish anything, and it felt like I never belonged.
But have you tried hard enough?
I couldn't go anywhere else. It wasn't possible for someone like me. I didn't exactly want to leave, though. I only wanted to feel I was worthwhile, that I was wanted, needed. I tried again and again to be that to someone, but it was pointless.
He chuckles bitterly.
Like myself.
I promptly give him a throw. He ducks his head further.
Probably already know that much about me by this point, huh? I'll move on. During one of my attempts to be of any use, I made some mistakes. I got caught by people who threatened my village. I didn't have the nerve to stand up to them. I put everyone I knew at risk. I had a chance to make up for what I did, but I didn't take it. And now this is where I am.
His face falls to the depths of despair.
The worst part is, the longer I'm here, with you, the less I regret it. No matter what happens to them or me, I wouldn't ever want to change my decision to go with you. I'm such a
Why do I
selfish
feel like...
coward. At least I'm embracing that now.
Why do I feel like the two of them, not Lou, but Kiki and her soldier partner, are going to the village he's talking about? After 1 week, Cell the receive laugh his eyes in defeat. I want to help Lou. I wish he could see his own worth. However, my mind is distracted. Something in his story strikes me. When we first found him, he was heading in the opposite direction of us. He must have started from the other shore. There's only one village located around that direction.
Lou, are you from Hammer? That's where I'm heading. It's currently under siege, and I've been asked to assist in pushing the Brigadiers back.
He whirls his stares at me. His expression is clouded with unreadable emotion. After a moment, he turns to the ground and murmurs
No
softly.
specifics. I'm sorry.
Yes, he's from there. He tries to sound lighthearted, but it's clear that he's shaken. I draw for him a sympathetic
I
smile.
understand. The people there will be alright. I will make sure of it.
We'll see about that.
That's good.
Lou asks us for he chose to cross Sinnlos only for his own sense of self. However, I still wonder if there is more to it than that. Was he crossing to find help on the other side? Despite my curiosity, I couldn't ask him to elaborate. It's clearly a difficult topic for him, and I already agreed to not get specifics out of this. I reach over to him and gently stroke his back, from the nape of his neck slowly down his spine. He shivers as I touch, for it is no way from discomfort. I caress him and he allows me to. We walk together at a steady pace, that irrational sense of peace burning for a while. Some fingers catch my eyes, and I gasp quietly. There is a silhouette of something at east land, the other shore. I have a difficult time believing what I'm saying.
We were going the right way.
Probably. I can hear the astonishment in his voice as well. He goes from complete shock to confident.
We can make it.
I nod eagerly. Sure, let's go. We increase our pace frantically, while doing all we can to remain as quiet as possible. Lou remains at a complete distance in front of me. We take a few turns here and there and keep running down a single bridge for a time, never allowing our eyes to leave the small sign of land for far too long. The Suez finally comes into full view. I feel my heart pound with excitement, even so I refuse to allow the feeling to let me lower my guard. I need to remain focused. We could so easily fall at the final step. Yet nothing threatens us. And then we miraculously arrive at the dock. The two of us immediately rush off of the bridges onto the safety of solid land. Before I can fully register what happened, I can hear the sound of Lou's airy, overjoyed laughter.
We made it! We actually made it!
Pools of tears form in my eyes, and I allow myself to relish the joy of the moment. I'm so glad we made it in one piece. This doesn't seem real, but instead some wild waking fantasy. As the rush of adrenaline escapes my body, I realize that we are alone. Did they make it before us and leap forward?
The guide goes slow.
I breathe deeply and call myself. Lou is correct. They will make it to the shore soon enough. I had to believe that. I managed to feel settled again. This lake has made me start to count on the worst case scenarios. Lou smiles contentedly at my calmness. When I catch his eye, he turns away bashfully.
Honestly, the further we went, the more it felt like I remembered where I was when I started. I never mentioned it because I didn't want to get your hopes up, but it worked. I knew which way.
So you have a good sense of direction, man. I went my eyes at his words. A surge of emotion zaps through my chest.
That's incredible. You saved us.
Meh. Lou curls, half laughs and wraps his arms.
You're the one who saved us. I just assisted a little bit. You're only saying that because you're kind and want me to not keep feeling worthless. But it's okay. This is enough for me. More than enough.
I beam at him. His response doesn't surprise me at all. I feel quite pleased that he was able to admit that he had it all. I wrap my arms around his neck and gently breath him. He readily eases into a hard cast, for he was waiting for it. Lou wraps his arms around my back and presses his face into the crook of my shoulder while murmuring softly to
I'm
me.
so grateful it was this night.
Eh? What do you mean? The two of us separate, for we still stand close. He sighs comfortably, and then his face cocks into a somewhat playful grin.
Everything that's happened to me before this point, well, that's water under the bridge.
I give him the most unimpressed look I can manage. I'll never understand how he's content joking about this nightmarish lake. Why not? I mean, that's a good thing. Despite that, I can't help that tiny smile that whimpers across my lips because that is so pro him. Lou snickers! Even if I still feel there's nothing about this place to jest over, I can bring myself to staunch his good mood over after everything we've been through these past days. He deserves to be happy, and I will continue to protect that.
We shouldn't stay here. We don't have any light, and those monsters could notice us.
Lou's face mentally falls.
So this is goodbye. You're going to Hammer. I'm not.
All my thoughts crash around me. I had forgotten a moment that we did not have the same goals. I formed a view of the future where the two of us would stay together after all of this was over. What? Where did that come from? He looks in my eyes with a strange, softened sorrow. I can't place what it is, but something about it causes a knot in my chest, almost choke on my words.
Where will you go then? If you don't mind telling me.
And he's like, I'm back onto the bridges! He simply looks away. I wait for a moment, and when he does continue, I do.
If you have nowhere in mind, you should come with me. Where I'm going won't be safe yet. However, it will be soon, and I will defend you until it is.
He bites his lip, for finally he's able to face me.
I'd like to. More than you know. But I can't. I need need you to trust me when I say that if I did go, it wouldn't make anything better. I'm so sorry.
He looks the same as when I first met him, holding himself together because if he doesn't, he might fall apart. But now something within him is different. It's stronger than the utter despair of failure from when we first met. It's solid, unwavering, and accepting.
You don't have to come. I understand. Still, I'd like to see you again.
He makes a small noise, something between a whimper and a grunt.
I
Luna's.
love that too. When you have the chance, come back here. I'll wait for you. I promise.
What? I blink his surprise.
Lou, that doesn't make any sense.
He simply smiles. I still get an urge to hold him.
Maybe it doesn't, but that's the only option we have. No matter how much I hate this shore, it's close enough and far enough.
I stare at him intensely, trying to understand what's going on in his head. He weakly looks up at me and waves.
Bye, Kika.
In the blink, he's gone. I managed to just catch a glimpse of him dashing off in the darkness of the forest. In trying in vain to call for him until my voice goes hoarse. He either doesn't hear me or doesn't listen. Lou completely disappears into the night. I stand there stunned. I quickly shake off the shock and step in the forest. He's no use. He's not on the pathway and there is no trace of where he could be. He's gone. I realize a tear is falling down my cheek. I wipe out the errant tear and hold my hands into fist. I vowed myself that no matter what happens, I will turn to this lake for him. I have to find him. I have to. This can't be the last time. Look, please wait for me! Something like that. I hurried to Hammer as quickly as I could. I already failed to help another during my journey. I could not afford to fail the villagers. They were glad to see me, for it was a desperate situation indeed. The urgency meant that my mind was occupied with other matters. I worked tirelessly to aid Hammer's own guards in forcing back to the brigadiers. But during the moments of calm and when the sun went down, I would remember the lake. What you want to tell me he didn't make it through with the guide? But Mel was of great help during the fight. He is outwardly positive the manor lifted the spirits of men. Okay, he made it. Of men around him, but I could see from the shadow in his eyes that he hadn't forgotten what he went through. Rather than be paralyzed by it, he is pushing himself to be even stronger. I admire that about him, and I fully intend to support him, the way he does for me. When receiving payments for his services, the guide must give a report of all those who both succeed and failed to cross the lake. The name and fate of Margaret soon became known in Hammer. I learned that she was an intelligent, thoughtful person and urged them to show respect for her passing. I hope that one day I'll have the opportunity to go to her hometown and give my own proper respects. Yeah, doubt. I have not heard nor seen the guide since then. He will remain obscured in that realm of fog and fear, a mysterious light off in the distance that is ever out of reach of the real world. Then once the twin was stable enough for me to take some time for myself, I arrive on the shore of Sinnlos at dawn. It's late enough that only the lonely dog remains, a small movement to the horrifying maze that haunts the nights of this lake. I weave my way through the thick fog and jagged roots. I have no idea of what I'm supposed to do since Lou ran up before making any actual plans. I wander around searching for the boy. I peer across trees and rocks, but there is no trace of him to be found.
Kika.
Sup, man? I hear my name being called in the distance. My heart jumps. I recognize the voice. It's the icy tone of Sinnlos' only guide. I turn to see him walking towards me. It is expected that he is here. Still, this is far from the reunion I'm striving for. I have difficulty not being somewhat bitter. He apprises me quietly before fuming in understanding.
You came back for him.
My defense says, shut
How
up.
do you know about that?
His eyes bore deeply into mine, and I feel a chill down my
He
spine.
was dead. He was executed.
Say the fuck what?
What?
All the air is sucked from my body. The guide offers no further explanation, and it hits me hard.
No, that can't be. You have to be wrong.
Finally, we have some other tone from her. His face is scrunched up in what could possibly be sorrow as he begins to
It
speak.
wasn't possible for Lou to escape from what he had done. His fate was sealed. No one could save him. Here is a long read before it continues. That is why he told me everything. in case he couldn't be here himself. Lou did wait for you. He stayed for as long as he could. His death was not peaceful. However, it was proud.
Time seems to nearly stop as I sit beside myself, a lurching pit in my stomach. Lou was here with me, what feels like only a moment ago, and now... The guide sighed
It
melancholically.
all feels so pointless. Still, you gave Lou something he never had. And it seems he gave you something in return. Perhaps that does have worth.
My mind is racing as my heart pounds painfully in my chest. I have difficulty believing he actually thinks that is true. It does seem as though he would like to, at the very least. I want to believe it as well. Slowly I reach into my pocket and gently throw out the shell Lou gave me. Without another word, the guy walks off in the distance. I don't make an attempt to follow him. I fully target the shell to look at it. Somehow I didn't want him to see. It was between just the two of us. I stared at the beautiful gift, grasping it in my hands. I then turned my eyes to look out at the lake. Hot tears pulled in my eyes and started to fall down my cheeks. The things he said, the way he was so willing to leave everyone behind, why he seemed so prepared to let himself die, it all became so much clearer in an instant. It really was hopeless from the start. I squeezed my eyes shut tight and imagined his face, tracing every line, every expression, and engraving it into my very memory.
Lou, I'll always remember you. I won't allow what you've done to be for nothing. I promise.
I sit there for I couldn't say how long, drinking in the internal image of Lou while moving to never allow him to leave my foot. Then I opened my eyes and leave this shore behind. I still find it difficult to accept Lou's cruel death. I have yet to remove the shell from my pouch. Killing gives me at least some comfort. That helps me continue on, despite the pain. Alright, so what exactly did he do? That's what I'm curious about. And I will not stop trying. I will still fight to protect others. Through it all, Lou will stay with me. He won't simply fade into the mist. I choose to believe that in this way, his soul can find peace. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that was a Lake of Voices. That was Lake of Voices. Free to play on Steam, so yes. If you want to play it yourself, go and play it yourself. I've done one route, one of probably many, because there were a ton of achievements, 20 something I think, and we did not unlock a lot of them. I don't know, maybe 5. So yeah, if you want to see some more, play the game yourself. I think it's worth it. Well, I will definitely be getting the rest of the achievements, but by myself. And, well, obviously with the help of the guide, because I do believe there will be one for this. This game was released some time ago, so there probably is something, right? Oh, free weekend with what? With the crew too? Not my thing. And like the first one. Maybe I will install it to check it out, but probably won't play it too much. Anywho, as I said, there was Lake of Voices. Hope you enjoyed this short journey, and tomorrow we are moving to the next game, which I don't yet know what will be. See you there. Bye bye.